the very opening scene of the movie, I actually thought I was watching the wrong movie when it started because it starts before they've told you the title of the film or anything. And it's this like, I don't know, backwoods Georgia guy. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's like the middle of nowhere. It's late at night. For some reason, I think there's snow everywhere. And this old guy sees like a white goo on the ground, and then he picks it up and starts eating it. And then he tells his friends, this stuff is delicious. And I thought, and this is what I want to ask you. Are we supposed to think the people in this movie are morons? Because if you think that, like, if you're watching the movie thinking, oh, this is how people will behave, I feel like you might be dissatisfied with this movie. It's like people are doing things in this movie that, like, don't make any sense. And in that opening scene, he picks up the stuff, which at that point looks like marshmallow fluff. You're right, it does change consistency. He picks it up and he eats it. And he says to his friend, you got to try this. And his friend said, I don't eat snow. And the guy says, no, it's not snow. Try it. And the guy goes, okay. And I thought, you had a rule about not eating snow.
You'll find out. No, I don't eat snow.
Come on, give it a try. That's not snow. Try it.
Huh? What the hell is it?
But a guy holds up his hand from some white goo that he found on the ground. And you're like, well, yeah, that stuff I'll try. Snow is where I draw the line. But this random white shit you found on the ground, yeah, let me see if it's any good. Like, that's the first 1 minute of this movie. And it does set the tone of people in this movie are going to be doing a lot of stupid things that make no sense.
I had the same thought when that started. I was like, did I download the wrong version of this film? Like, what is going on? And then they go into a scene where you're meeting Mo, the lead character of this movie, for the first time. And he plays that character so off center, Michael Moriarty, that I was like, what is going on with this movie? His lines, the way he's acting, like, you're completely thrown off.
You know, Mr.
Rutherford, Mo Rutherford. You know why they call me Mo?
No, why?
Because every time people give me money, I always want Mo.
It took me, I felt like I was watching like a British show where you're like, I need to learn how to understand the accent of this film before I can understand what's going on with this movie. But I did like think about that opening scene a little bit more. And if you think about it, it's probably no weirder than like the first person that walked up to a cow and was like, huh, let me pull on this udder and just like drink this white shit that comes out of here. Oh, it's good. Here, have some.
Yeah, it does seem like you're right. Like, there's probably a lot of things like that. Look at the first guy who ever tried Olestra and was like, on the one hand, no calories. On the other hand, there is a slight downside that I'm going to need to tell you guys about before we start selling this to millions of people. But let's focus on the upside right now.
I feel a little wet.
Yeah, it's a board meeting. It's like, all right, first I'm going to hand you some potato chips, and then everyone's going to get a box of wet wipes. Don't ask why. I'll explain it later. So,
brilliant.
Yeah. And then it just cuts to, and now the stuff exists, and everyone's eating it, and everyone loves it. Except, it doesn't make any sense that like one kid has seen it move, and of everyone in the world.
So, just to build on that for 1 second. It doesn't make sense, but then the thing, I want to talk about this more at the end because it's a little bit dark, but like thinking about something like the opioid crisis, that I kept thinking about that as I was watching this film, and like, goddamn, there's so many, I feel like this movie predicted what Purdue Pharma and the Sacklers were going to do. Likely in that situation, the people that only had their eyes open...
Allegedly? Do we have to say allegedly? Could we be sued?
Oh, no.
Or has it been proven
we're saying that. Yeah. Since... You know, I feel like probably the only people that saw with open eyes what was going on are probably little kids that like looked at their parents like, what is wrong with them? What are you doing? And like kind of in this, it's the young kids that are only seeing it for what it really is, like because they haven't been suckered by the media manipulation yet.
You know, that's a dark observation, but you're right. I think that's one of the things about this movie that made people appreciate it later, because the movie has a lot of like problems if you're just watching it for how good is the acting, how good are the special effects, how good is the action sequences. But as a satire, it's almost like you got to score it differently because the satire is like pinpoint accurate, even when the acting is a little weak.
Dude, I'm gonna just put this one in the so bad it's good category.
Well, we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there when we get to our stabbies.